let's quickly dive into more confrontational issue as yet another tragic incident has actually claimed the lives of our brave military personnel, the killing of Nigerian soldiers at a peace mission to Okwoma community in Delta State recently. We have with us in the studio a guest who is a civil rights activist and of course is also a clergyman. Together we are going to be looking at how are we going to come out of this continuous killing of force who are in line of duty. What this devastating event not only reflect on us as a nation, but it's actually affecting the morale of the soldiers. Good morning, Bishop.
God bless you, sir.
It is well, sir. Good morning.
Yes.
All right, now walk us through. Looking at the whole scenario that plays out in Okwoma community last week, Thursday. What's your take?
Well, it's devastating. It is barbaric. It's unexpected, and it is not something that one is saddening because this is it is just trying to show us our level of inhumanity to one another. Because come to think of it, these officers are our brothers. They are our brothers. They are part of us. They are not foreigners. That is one. Then two, these men, they are protecting the territorial integrity of the nation. They are there to keep peace, to make peace, to let us have peace. Now, when we want to destroy and put in pieces people that are there to give us peace, that is disturbing. It's disturbing because these men are not fighting us. They are to keep our territory in peace. And if there's anybody we need to really be friendly with, they should be the people we be friendly with, so that when we partner with them, we'll be able to enjoy peace from external aggression. But these are internal aggression being powered by external aggressors. So it's so painful because these officers, some of them are married, they came from family, and nobody will be excited to have his person being murdered just like that. And also, for somebody to rise to the level of colonel, rise to the level of a major, rise to the level of a captain, and even young officers, it is so painful. So for them to just die a death that is not natural death, that people just send them to early grave in the line of their duty, it is so bad. And I think that we must get to a level where we honor these men who have left everything to be able to protect us. And I think that one of the best way that we can also stop this is to always make sure that wherever a soldier's life is being toyed with, not only the soldiers now, it's just soldiers we're talking about now, because that's what happened. On daily basis, people are killing our police officers. They are dying in thousands, and nothing happened. And so painful enough that you see that, because not only that this is painful to us, it also killed the morale of men who are still alive. Because there's a parable in Yoruba that the death that killed your colleague is already knocking at your door.
Wow. Now,
because those who are alive as soldiers, now their morale are dampened with what has happened. Because when you see one of your friends, I remember there's one of my sons that time I put in the army. He just came home to see the parent, and when he got back, all his colleagues have been wasted. Have been wasted in the northeast. He just came, took a pass to come and see the parent. When he returned back, all what he saw is the head of his friend. The guy couldn't believe. This is a hard guy. He shed tears to see the men, they work in the same beach, see all their head butchered somewhere. So I think that the federal government must take this, because wherever an officer's life is being lost, there must be people must be made to be accountable. Because I think that if this is what happens, we will not have a repetition of this thing, because it has been happening. I have people who are in the army, young officers who are in Maduguri. Today they have their BS because they can't go.
They are trying to disguise themselves.
Because the army uniform also look like a burial uniform. In that terrain, we must do something about it, because let us not forget that all these persons that are doing this, they don't just jump down from the sky. They also have connections, they have roots. There are people that sponsor these people. There are people that are behind them. Okay. Now, it also boils down to security intelligence gathering. Because on that mission, if we have proper intelligence gathering, there will have been an information about this kind of reprisal attack. Because the officers didn't go to attack, they went on the peace mission. Now, on their return, it was just somebody come and just wrap them up and start shooting them and start killing them. So I feel that there is a breakdown of intelligence gathering, which we must also work on. That there, as you move back, as you move in the forefront, there's a parable that says, you see, a man that knows how to retreat in the army, there's what we call tactical retreat. That when you are in the terrain, when you know that you can be overwhelmed, you have a tactical retreat so that you can be able to get reinforcement to be able to deal with the issue. So, but we have enough men that were being wrapped up by people who are not stake actor. So it's painful. It's also degrading for you to see somebody come who is not a soldier killing soldiers in their numbers. This is not the first time.
It's not the first time. It happened in Niger State during President Olusegun Obasanjo's tenure. It happened somewhere in Delta State, Udi or so, and now it's happening again. It's been happening, like you said. What is going to be the aftermath in Akolima community now?
It is one major thing is that when it happens like this, innocent people are the first beneficiary of what the reprisal. The innocent people, you see that the first thing that will happen is that the community will be deserted. People have to run for their dear life because they knew for sure that what will come after, it is not going to be something that is going to be smooth. For now, every person will flee. We had that people have left the community. Everywhere is deserted.
The community is currently on fire.
Yes. Now, economy of that place is dead.
Economically.
Yes. Means of livelihood. People have abandoned their means of livelihood to run for their life. And most time when it happens like this, the people that will first of all pay for this are innocent people. The people that will pay, because when the army comes back to come and do the payback, the people they are going to first meet are the innocent people that may pay with their lives. Now, the real people who are behind this, the perpetrator of this act, will now be, at times you see that most time, we don't always pick them at the end of the day, but you will see that places are leveled, the community brought down, lives are lost, but the real culprits, because this must be our target now. Because I think that if you look at some of these people that are fighting our own soldiers, you see the weapon they carry. You know that these are people that are fully prepared. And these people that carry the arm, they can't afford the arm. We must look after those who position them there. Because when you look at the boys that are shooting at soldiers now, you see that on their own they can't afford the weapon they are carrying in their hand.
Very true.
How do they get this weapon? These are some of the ways by which we can deal with this, and we can be a lasting solution. We can pull the whole community down. That will not give us a lasting solution. It has happened in Udi. It has happened in one part of Port Harcourt. It has happened in Maiduguri. It happened in Borno. I remember there was a time they were moving during Buhari time. They were moving a bomb from one point to another. The terrorists, they double crossed them, and they started giving a kind of shooting that the weapons itself started exploding against the officers that moved the weapon. And you must know that for somebody who is not a trained soldier to engage military men in this kind of confrontational attack,
at this level,
you must know that there is a wind of military backup. The people that are military inclined, that have been able to, you cannot just wake up now. Somebody cannot wake up in the street and know what a soldier is carrying inside their vehicle in a convoy. You can't know it. You must have an insider who will tell you vehicle number 5, vehicle number 6 and 7, they are carrying so weapon. When you want to attack, just put your weapon on number 4, 5, they will explode and start killing others. We lost almost going to 100 soldiers in that particular attack, that they were carrying bombs and moving them. These are security information that are not something you see on the newspaper. This
intelligence that is always being broken.
Yes.
Who's to be blamed?
I think that we have Judas in the midst of the military. Because even what happened in this Kolokuma community now, you cannot rule out an insider within the military. You cannot rule out what has
outrightly.
Yeah, you cannot rule out. You know, we lost 100 soldiers in Nasarawa, At the end of the day, when the investigation was going on, we were also briefed that part of the lost 100 policemen
yes.
in Nasarawa. My brother there was the CP, retired CP Akirimale. He was about going on retirement. A few days to his retirement, that attack happened. At the end of the day, we discovered that part of the policemen who went for that operation inside that desert, they already tied a red cloth on their own hillocks to tell the terrorists that they were negotiating to kill their colleague, that we don't shoot at us because our own hillocks will have a red flag tied to it, but you can waste the rest. That was how
and those ones were saved. Nothing happened to them.
Well, nothing happened today till tomorrow. Those officers, 100 of them, 100 policemen, they died. More than 120 women became widow. And forever, I can tell you for free that all the police officers that died then, their gratuity were not paid. Some people are seeing the police force who collect the salary of those who have died, and their wives sent out. Now you want those who are still serving to be excited. You want them not to take bribe when they have opportunity to take bribe. You want them not to disappoint their nation when they know that their colleague fell and nothing was done to deal with those who caused their death, and also to forestall that those who are still alive will not die the same way. You remember that soldier's wife at a time had a protest, and they were challenging President Buhari, former President Buhari, that you are appreciating and pampering those who kill our husband, placing them on salary, doing repentance for them, and our husband that died, you didn't take care of us. You did not. We are all sent out of the barrack. Our children has no future. Now tomorrow, those soldiers' children that knew how their father died, we have seen some persons that were arrested in the forest, and they said their parents were soldiers that were killed, and the nation did nothing. That is why they also decided to go into taking up of arms. Because when you pick a criminal, you debrief the criminal. Not only slapping, you debrief the criminal. How did you come into it? Now, hearing from a guy who said, my father is a soldier, he was murdered, and this, that, I decided to do this. Then that one should give us a clue to start working on soldiers' children, even those who are still alive, to be able to use that guy who confessed his soul, to be able to see that these are some of the things that lead people into crime. You hear somebody say, I used to move my cattle in the forest, but cattle rustler, they took everything. Now I have to go into arm so that I do the same. Now, how do we, if we don't debrief these people and be able to know why, what is the immediate cause of this or remote cause, and deal with it, there will be a repetition of this kind of thing.
With this constant break in their intel, do you think they are not really learning from these lessons? Because these are hard lessons, to lose scores of soldiers. I think it's one that should call for concern. Are the military apparatus actually learning from all these lessons?
I'm not sure that there is a proper lesson being learned. The reason is that as we are talking for now, we have not been able to apprehend those who are financiers of terrorism. And this is not rocket science. If you take your mind back to the days of Emefiele as CBN governor, when there was NSAS, within 48 hours, the accounts of men who sponsor it were brought out. South Africa also named 7 Nigerians who were mentioned as financiers of terrorism. It does not take South Africa hundreds of years to be able to do that. Now, there was an issue that happened in the army then, wherein officers are moving 400 million. And the officers that ran with it, young officers, they ran with it when they got to a place where a helicopter will come and airlift that money. They bring the money from the war front, and it's being airlifted in a place to an unknown destination. These guys said they are follow up. They have been going with their officers, lifting this money for like 10 times. They said, what is going to be, what will be our salary? What will be our pension when we leave the army? They ran away with that money. All what the Nigerian army does is to sack that general. Until today, there was no investigation about this money. CBN, look at the money that we're talking about. What was this money meant for? Who moved this money? Now, where is this money going to? Now, it is not sacking that man, because that man is not the first general who has been monitoring this movement. Now, but today, that matter died a natural death that today is dead forever. Now those officers have left with that 400 million, and to your tell history, 4 of them, they share it and they find their way. Nobody tracked them where they are. Nobody tracked what that money was meant for. Nobody tracked how many times such money have been moved out of the war front. The war front is not a central bank. Now, what was that money meant for? Now, who authorized the money? Who diverted the money? And nobody has been caught. EFCC has not invited anybody in the army. Now, how would this kind of thing not repeat itself repeatedly? Because there are people that are benefiting from even the death of the soldiers. There are people that benefit. I can tell you for free that those officers that died, if you are going to track it, you will see that a lot of them, somebody will still be collecting their money. They are still living. Even in debt. In debt. It is happening everywhere. It happens that somebody is still collecting it. Their wife will not be allowed. There will be bottleneck administrative things that will make the woman to try. At the end of the day, the woman will give up and start looking at her children. Now, frustrated. Those children have already started learning something from a country their father served that didn't preserve the legacy of their father, that sent their mother and themselves out of the barrack, that didn't care for them. I think that there is we have to look inward.
But the president has said that those that actually did this will be brought to book. We've heard that several times. And you just said we should go back to history where South Africa helped to name some persons who are sponsoring terrorism. Is it that we have people in the country that are untouchable? Bishop,
I feel that we have.
Do we have people that are untouchable?
Yes, I know we have people in this country that are untouchable. If you go back to history, you will see that when former President Buhari came on board, they told us they are going to name and shame corrupt officers, corrupt people, corrupt this and that. At a time, they also told us they are not there to mention anybody's name. When we got to where we have to mention name, we are going to deal with them, and we didn't see anybody being dealt with. Now, if somebody have looted a nation, why should we give respect to such individual that we will not shame them? But the man who came as a righteous man was not able to fumigate. And today you see that under his nose, we could see a lot of things, a lot of corrupt acts and movement of funds that cannot be accounted for. So that shows you that there are persons in this country. I tell you, there are people that when Buhari came into power, some persons were expecting that Mr. F will be arrested, Mr. 24 will be investigated, Mr. 35 will be invited. But at the end of the day, Buhari also became father-in-law for their children's traditional marriage and all the rest. Then how do you marry that one? It tells you that some people are in this country that are untouchable. That when they do things, you take your eye off them until we get there. But I can tell you for free, as I'm standing here, that I won't take the voice of our Mr. President, this present president. I will not toy with his statement. And I can tell you that there is a difference between President Tinubu and President Buhari, because what Tinubu knows and the political will of President Tinubu to do things, his audacity and facing matter headlong and being proactive, not reactive, being proactive about issues. And is something that cannot be married with that.
So you think the marching order he gave defense headquarters is going to hold water? It's
going to hold water. I can tell you that one for free. If you look at the alphabet of his statement, it is spelled out. It's not a political statement. He did not make a political statement. He made a statement of a commander-in-chief. You have seen the action of President Tinubu, that it is more militant in mind, even more than the man who was a general. Issues that are being handled by him that have to do with welfare of officer and other things, you have seen him coming out, not sending proxy. You have seen that this president is not presidency said something in the morning, presidency said another thing in the afternoon. You have seen a man that is holding the steering to be able to say this is the direction we are going. And he has taken some steps that will make us know that if a man that is looking for second time, there are decisions that they will not take, that you can see President Tinubu taking now. Because why? The man want a shift, a paradigm shift from the old order. And a thoroughbred politician will not do that. Who will be looking for second time? Because he will want to satisfy the people, few persons, to the detriment of so many Nigerians. So but I tell you that with what president, the way he expressed his mind, the way he expressed his countenance, this president does not talk with body language. We have President Buhari before that talk with body language. The body language of president is like this. The body language does not buy cloth in the market.
So it's an express statement.
Express statement. Go after those who have done this. They are not going to be forgiven.
Bring them to justice.
They are not going to be my amnesty. The man didn't say go and bring them. Today, like those who killed our soldiers are in the payroll of government, being treated as VIPs because they came from one side of the country where a former president came from. They were treated with kid gloves. And they destroy our men. Do you know how much Nigeria put in to these officers? Some of them have gone to different courses in different nations that they need to impregnate other young officers with the wisdom they have acquired. We have lost them to death. We have lost what they stood for. The family have lost them. Their wife and children have lost them. Their loved one. Now, as you are here, you can have the lieutenant colonel as a friend. If you have an issue one day, you can call it, sir. Having something is happening here, and the person will assist you. When the person dies, you have also lost a friend. You have lost somebody who is a helper. So we cannot be wasting the life of our officers like this.
To become an officer, you need to go through Nigerian Defense Academy, to even go through the rank and file and
the rigorous
exercise and all that. In fact, to rise to the position of a lieutenant colonel, you need to go through some certain trainings, including Jaji. I think Jaji is the final course for the senior officer course, you know. So going through all these courses, do you think it's going to affect the morale of the soldiers?
You can't remove that one.
And will it affect people from being enlisted into army?
It is not going to be the soldiers at work that will be affected. Also, the will-be soldier. That is those who are in the training to be soldiers. Now, hearing this one with what happened, those who are in training now, you have already killed their morale, their vision, their energy to work and make things work for the nation. And also those who will be those who are interested to be enlisted. Also, you have also killed the morale of parents
from releasing their kids.
Releasing their kids and say, where are you going? Are you going for a burial service now? No, I don't have so many children. You stay back. So it affects the society. Even the local government where all these officers that died came from. Everybody is affected now, apart from those who killed them and those who are sponsoring the killing of the soldiers. You know that it's another way of making people not to join the army. When you begin to kill them at random, those who are interested in fighting for their nation will hands down their mindset. And doing that one, you have also lost potential soldiers who will fight for the nation and make things to work. So it's a tactical. Those who are doing this, they know what they are doing. That it is not only the officer killed, there will be officer in training. Those who are interested to be enlisted, there are people in primary school now who say, I'll be a soldier. But see this one now, they say, I'll be a medical doctor. So you have already diverted their destiny. Also their destiny. Those who are destined to be soldier, you have also diverted their destiny by this event. So it has an overall effect on every person. Those who love these soldiers, those who are their person, those who are benefiting from them, those whom they are benefiting from, everybody is affected. And those people that are bringing the nation to its kneel, they have an intention. And until we go for them, until we look for them, because I tell people, I said, if somebody steals wristwatch and he does not see somebody to sell it to, that person will stop stealing. That guy that cut people's chain in Ring Road and has a ready-made market will continue to cut people's necklace because he has a place to sell it. If there is no market to sell it, he won't pickpocket, he won't remove your wristwatch because he knew that I would not have a place to sell it. If I remove 10 wristwatch, am I going to assemble them in my hand? No, I'm going to have a rethink. So I want the defense headquarters, because this one show intelligent crack. We must work on intelligence. Okay. No, we are not going to be sending our soldiers like we are sending cow into the bush. Now, if they are going, there must be intelligence for where they are going, the safety of where they are going, to also arrange them that they will prepare. We are in the studio right here. There can be naked wire here. If you are informed that this wire is naked, you can walk across it. You can even hold the wire and hold your breath. And you'll be like an insulator because you have information about this live wire. But somebody that doesn't have an information that this wire is a live wire, he will just walk in there and just touch it, and that's the end of his life. So that is the essence of intelligent gathering. If our men are being called somewhere to go and quell a riot, there must be intelligence that you people were sending. We are not sending them as a...
Okay, quickly, let's break this. 2 questions in one. Could it be that we are not utilizing our digital facility? There was a time we said we had Tucano jet and all that, and a lot of drones were gotten to aid their work. Then secondly, what now happens to the community leaders? The community leaders, are they doing what they're supposed to do to sensitize these youth? Because if you want to take a critical look at the demography of those that are involved, they are youth.
I think that the community leaders on their own, with respect to community leader, a lot of community leaders have failed in their responsibility. And a lot of them, they have integrity deficit. That there are people today that by the order of the environment, there is an amount of money that comes from the government to them. And this money is being shared with maybe some few chiefs, and that money that's supposed to go around, money that's supposed to be made open. This was what comes from social derivation. This is what they shared for us. What do we do with it? Now, when these things, the deficit is there, the youth themselves, they are losing, they have lost interest, and they have been able to check some of the leaders, community leaders, that some of them are materialistic in their mindset, and they are not sincere enough. So this one also go a long way to make this matter worse. Because what happened now are issues that community leader can sort, that our soldiers are not needed. I can tell you for free, where integrity has not failed, that community issue can be handled without our soldiers' presence.
Okay.
Now that this issue will be handled by community leaders, and because there's a way the community people do their own, that even when it gets to a level somebody wants to go against what the community has agreed, they place curse on them, they punish them. These are things that worked before. Why is it that the communal spirit is not there? Again, because everybody is selfish. I think the failure of community leaders, because what happened in this community now, our officers would have been alive if the community leaders they don't have integrity deficit, and the people can take them by their word, and they know that what they are telling us is true. When the youth see that the leaders are leading by truth, they will be able to follow the leaders, because the youth themselves, they also want to, they want a sincere atmosphere. If the community leader have not failed, where you see a community leader having vast of land that is being hijacked and taken here and there, and you now want the people to be working, the youth to be working for you. If you look at some of these people in their palaces, they use the youth to cause issues, and they themselves, their children are not among the youth. Some of their children are in Canada, some of their children are in US, and they use children of other people to be able to cause problem within the community. You know that community leader today, some of them create problem in their community to get federal government attention. Just like some governor create problem in their state so that their security vote can also go up. So this thing trickle down, because all these people, they also need this youth who are foot soldiers, who can be bamboozled to do something without minding their tomorrow.
Okay, so how does this portray us at the international scene?
Well,
how would they perceive us now?
The thing is that they will look at us as people that are not serious. We have 12 Tucano jets that Mali has only 2, and they perform miracle with it. Now, beyond even this Tucano jet now that we have, you see, it's like China that they build the wall and did not build the people. Our Tucano jet, some of them now are inside cooler, some of them are in like a museum in a place. They are sleeping when they're supposed to be active and be working somewhere. Beyond Tucano jet, we must also let the people, if we didn't let the officer know that we love them, that we are not using them to be a banger that we used to set trap. Let them know that we love you guys. We love you. You are part of us. That you join the army. We didn't say you should die the day you join the army. We want you to fight for your nation and still be alive. And peradventure, by any means, anything happen to you. Let us see, let the government rise to the occasion, or let them see soldiers' children going to a special university, not being paid, that it will be so. We have a Nigerian Army University. Let it be like a legislation. All the Army's children, there is a ready-made university for you. Either you pay or you don't pay. This is our service for you, for your parents serving the nation. Now we have already built a mindset for them. After all, the lay foundation of Nigerian Army University in Borno or something. Let all the Army children, everywhere you are already a candidate in that school. Either you get your JAMB or not. because your father served the nation, we are giving you the benefit of that. As when you finish your secondary school, you just write a mock exam, you are already in that university. The issue of your payment, how you are going to become who you want to become, is not an issue. Taken care of by the nation. This one, we also, I can tell you for free, if you are going to look for people that do some bad thing, go to army barrack. Can police enter army barrack and go and carry any army child that you do something? You cannot do it. So, but when this kind of thing I'm talking about, psychologically, because we are already building up some soldiers that are going to do some terrible things. That is, these unregistered soldiers who are seeing the country not taking care of their own father. The kind of vengeance in them is going to make them to become citizens that will cause havoc for the nation.
Talking about taking care of the children of retired soldiers,
even not only retired, but those who died in active service.
Those who died in active service. Now, some persons are of the opinion that some retired generals, those that were forcefully taken out of the service, some disgruntled serving army officers too, could be suspect as far as issues like this are concerned. Do you agree with that?
Don't forget that late General Tahiru, when he became chief of army staff, one of the things he proposed then is that let us bring those people that were retired back. And you cannot rule out. That's why I said, you know, at the beginning of this discussion, I said, you cannot attack soldiers without having, you are not a military inclined person.
Military training.
You can't just say, so when you see somebody who's a non-state actor, dealing with soldiers as if he's dealing with untrained people, you will know that in my village they said when you see the river dancing, the drummer is under the water. That's why anytime you get to the river, you don't see the velocity of the water the same way. It can be fast now, it can be slow, depending on the drummer that is drumming under the water. So those who are drumming, you don't see them, but you see the dance. That is what, when you deal with the dance and you don't deal with the drummer, it is like the Bible say, where the carcass is, eagles are gathered. If you like, fumigate everywhere and pursue the eagle, another set of eagle will come, because as far as the carcass is there, it will always invite the eagle. So for later Kairu to say, let's bring some person, he has gotten some report. He also knew that those who are not happy, who may want to sabotage the system, when we bring them back on board, they will be part of the
network. A sense of belonging.
Yes. So you cannot rule that one out. You cannot rule that one out. Now, in Delta here, they just discovered an armed factory inside the bush.
Yes.
The soldiers
somewhere in Asaba also.
Yes.
Delta State.
Yes, Delta State, and it has been operated by a family of 8, father and mother and their children, and they are doing this successfully. And these are non-state actors. Can you tell me? They were telling us that the boy has learned how to do aeroplane and how to do this one. They are not yet open up on how it happened. Somebody cannot get how to prepare, how to make a gun in the dream. You cannot just have a dream of how to prepare AK-47, how to service it in the dream.
So it's beyond talent.
It's beyond talent.
According to the mom from the video I saw, that from childhood, yes, he knows how to create drones and all that.
Drone and all
and
that.
Then now metamorphose into producing
into this one without any professional touch. The woman should know that it's not talking to fool. It's not. I listen to the woman said from childhood. Now every one of us is a driver. That's why you have a car or you can drive. When you get to driving school, they will just put through. What they need to do is to fine tune. Everybody is a potential driver, even a day-old child. All what you need to do is that when you go to driving school, they just put you through and you start driving. There is something inside of us that God laid down inside us, that our ability, God's ability inside us. Now, if it is not, if we have wrong people to channel it to a wrong place, okay, like I said, all these Yahoo boys, they are very talented people. If I advise Magu that time, don't run after them, gather them. We can use this guy to fight we can use them to fight financial crime. We can also use them to fight, to secure our space. If these guys are talented like this, somebody is blowing generator throughout the night, you say it's a lazy person. It's not a lazy person, it's a brain work. You bring the person and channel the brain. I tell you that this boxer Mike Tyson used to beat people and go to jail. Somebody look at him and say, this guy is talented. Let's bring him. Young man, you are going to be beating people, but not on the street. You won't go to jail. You will beat them, people will clap. They will give you bet. They will pay you for beating people. And what the person did is to change the location. Don't beat in the street, beat in the ring. And the guy became that tells you that whatever anybody is doing, you see there are people that can toast a married woman, and the married woman will leave her mansion and come and stay inside caravan with it. It's not medicine. What I'm saying is that it's about the gift. So the gift can also be channeled. Those people can be asked to do a counselor, speak to people in crime. and counsel them that crime is not good. And after talking to them, you see the man going into crime, we leave that, that under counseling.
Bishop Igbasa, it's always a pleasure having you in the studio. A lot of things to talk about when you are here, but we'd like to have you again and again on TMI. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. My pleasure.